The old Chevy Impala idled by the curb of Jefferson Elementary, its engine humming softly under the late afternoon sun. Samuel Carter, a retired judge with silver hair and a steady gaze, tapped his fingers on the steering wheel, waiting for his granddaughter, Lily, to burst through the school gates. She did, her pink backpack bouncing, her smile lighting up the world. Samuel stepped out, opened the passenger door, and buckled her in as she chattered about a bird that flew into her classroom. Just another ordinary day in suburban Atlanta until it wasn't. A police SUV screeched to a stop, blocking Samuel's car. Officer Daniel Hayes stepped out, his badge glinting, his hand resting near his holster. No greeting, no smile. "Is this your car?" he asked, voice flat. Samuel nodded, calm. "Yes, officer." "Is there a problem?" Hayes scanned the license plate, then Samuel's face, his eyes narrowing. "You can't park here during school dismissal. State's cracking down." Samuel kept his tone even. "I'm just picking up my granddaughter. We're about to leave." Hayes didn't respond, just peered into the car at Lily, who clutched her backpack, confused. "License and registration," Hayes demanded. Samuel handed them over. Hayes glanced at the cards, then asked, "What's your job?" "Retired," Samuel said. A pause. "You worked in the courts, didn't you?" The question hung heavy, laced with something unspoken. Samuel met Hayes's gaze, unflinching. "Step out of the vehicle," Hayes ordered. Samuel's voice stayed steady. "Have I done something wrong?" Hayes's jaw twitched, but he pressed, "Step out, sir." "Safety check." Samuel complied, moving deliberately, his hands visible. Lily's chatter stopped, her eyes wide. Hayes circled to the passenger side, flashlight in hand, and began rummaging. The car was spotless until Hayes's hand slipped into his pocket, pulled out a small plastic bag of white powder, and slid it under the seat in one fluid motion. He straightened, feigning shock. "What's this?" he shouted, holding the bag up. "Spotless car, huh? Thought folks like you were only clean in church." The racist jab landed hard, but Samuel didn't flinch. He glanced at a nearby traffic pole, where a camera blinked red, then back at Hayes. "You better hope that camera's off," he said, loud enough for a passerby to hear. A crowd gathered, parents, teens, a teacher with a phone out. Whispers spread. Hayes smirked, dangling the bag. "Found this under the seat. Care to explain?" Samuel said nothing, his eyes locked on Hayes, calm but piercing. A teen across the street filmed, unnoticed. Hayes cuffed Samuel, reading his rights with a detached monotone. "You have the right to remain silent." Samuel's gaze shifted to Lily, still in the car, gripping her backpack. He gave her a small nod, reassuring her without words. As Hayes shoved him toward the patrol car, Samuel glanced at the teen filming, offering a subtle nod, not for help, but to acknowledge the truth being captured. In the interrogation room, Samuel sat upright, hands on the table, as if awaiting a board meeting, not a false charge. Hayes scribbled a report, his pen scratching out lies. Subject was uncooperative, avoided questions about the suspicious package. A young officer, Michael Reed, stood in the corner, clutching a folder, his lips tight. Samuel's silence unnerved Hayes, who muttered, "You talk too much," though Samuel hadn't said a word. Outside, Michael leaned against the one-way glass, a USB drive in his pocket. He'd seen it all: Hayes planting the bag, the racist sneer, the setup. His hand trembled. A retired judge, framed. Could he stay silent? The next morning, Samuel's car was towed to the station's inspection yard. A technician flipped a switch, and a green LED blinked. The car had an interior dash cam, recording everything. The footage showed Hayes slipping the bag under the seat, clear as day. In a tech room, two officers watched, one nodding grimly. "Escalate this?" the younger asked. "Wait," the older said. "Archive it. Encrypt it." An internal meeting followed, but the incident report omitted the camera. A suit from Internal Affairs raised an eyebrow. Why no mention of the footage? No one answered. Meanwhile, an inventory of Samuel's belongings revealed a metal card in his wallet. Federal Oversight Advisor, Public Conduct Counsel. The officer, Clara Wells, froze. This wasn't just a retiree. Samuel had authority to trigger federal investigations. She checked Hayes's body cam footage. It showed him glancing at the card, pausing, then shoving the wallet away without logging it. The seizure log read, "Wallet, no ID." Clara's report sparked an emergency meeting. A young officer whispered, If he knew who Samuel was and still framed him, that's not just misconduct. It's a cover-up. Michael couldn't shake the image of Samuel in cuffs. That night, in the station's parking lot, he opened his personal email, typed a cryptic address from a law firm's website, and attached the dashcam video. This clip proves you're not crazy. No one deserves this. He hit send, his breath heavy. He wasn't a hero, just a rookie who couldn't live with silence. The next day, a note appeared in his locker. Be careful who you stand up for. And signed, it felt like a warning. At the preliminary hearing, the courtroom buzzed with reporters. The prosecutor, sharp in a gray suit, presented photos. The bag, Hayes seizing it, Samuel in cuffs, eyes averted. No evidence of a setup, he declared. Samuel's lawyer, Laura, tried to object, but the judge waved her off. Samuel sat still, his silence louder than any outburst. In the back, Michael stood, heart pounding, and approached the stand. I'm an unlisted witness, he said, holding up a USB drive. This video needs to play, or this trial's a sham. The judge hesitated, but the media's cameras forced his hand. The screen lit up. The dash cam footage rolled, showing Hayes planting the bag, his voice dripping with prejudice. Gasps filled the room. The prosecutor's pin hit the floor. Laura smiled faintly. Samuel turned, locking eyes with Michael, his nod a silent thank you. The truth was out, undeniable. The judge called a recess, his face pale. Outside, the crowd grew, signs rising. The system's the problem. The hashtag Carter Act trended nationwide. Days later, Samuel was attacked in an alley near his apartment. 3 men pinned him, fists flying. Stay quiet, one hissed. Blood dripped from Samuel's brow as he collapsed, reaching for his phone. Headlights flashed. Michael, driving by chance, leapt from his car, disarming the attackers with trained precision. He called 911, stabilizing Samuel until medics arrived. A street camera caught it all, sealing the evidence. In a final hearing, Laura presented a hard drive of unedited files, audio of internal cover-ups, logs of deleted records, and a list of 19 officers linked to falsified reports. The room froze as names appeared: Lieutenant James Cole, Sergeant Anna Price, and others, all tied to a shadowy gatekeepers network. No one denied it. A DOJ representative announced a federal investigation. Samuel stood, leaving without a word. He'd done enough. The state legislature debated the Carter Act, a reform bill mandating uneditable camera storage, whistleblower protection, and audits of past arrests. Opponents called it rash, fearing it would demoralize police. But after weeks of hearings, 3 swing votes: Elijah Marsh, Lydia Chun, and Raymond Holt, a former cop, tipped the scale. The bill passed, 38 to 35. The chamber exhaled. Samuel wasn't there. He was at a school, speaking to kids. Don't judge someone by their skin or their street, he told them. Respect starts with seeing a person, not a label. That Friday, a ceremony to honor Samuel stood empty. He wasn't at the state senate, accepting medals. He was at Lincoln Middle School, sharing old books with students, asking, if someone's wrong, do you punish them or understand them? A girl answered, I just don't want to be like the adults who hurt my dad. Samuel nodded. That was enough. Weeks later, Samuel left Atlanta quietly. A photo surfaced online, him tying a boy's shoelace in a schoolyard, sunlight on his shoulders. No caption, just a moment. He didn't need fame. He needed kids to grow up questioning prejudice, not repeating it. The Carter Act reshaped policing, but Samuel's real legacy was in classrooms, where his words planted seeds for a fairer world. What do you think? Have you ever faced injustice or seen someone judged unfairly? Share your thoughts below, especially on violence and fairness in our systems. Take a stand. Your voice matters.